So a newly disclosed memorandum citing unprecedented meddling by the Trump administration in the 2020 census and circulated among top Census Bureau officials show how strongly they sought to resist efforts by the administration to manipulate the count for Republican political gain. The document was shared among 3 senior executives, including Ron S. Jarmin, a deputy director and the agency's day-to-day head. It was written back in September 2020. The memo laid out a string of instances of political interference that senior census officials planned to raise with Wilbur Ross, then the Secretary of the Commerce Department, which oversees the Bureau. Many of these issues directly affected the population estimates used for reapportionment. In particular, the administration was adamant that for the first time ever in the history of the United States of America, that they do not count the number of undocumented immigrants in the census, that they said they were going to have a separate tally for undocumented immigrants. And the reason for this was that presumably undocumented immigrants are concentrated in blue states, where the blue states would then get more apportionment of congressmen, would get more apportionment of the Electoral College, and thus tilt elections, tilt Congress more towards Democrats. Why this is unprecedented is that in the history of the United States, the way that we apportion the number of congressmen that come from each state, the way that we apportion the Electoral College, which ultimately votes for the president, the way we apportion funds that go to each particular state. So, for example, if Congress says we're going to pass $20 trillion for transportation, I'm just making up a number, they're not passing $20 trillion for transportation, it gets apportioned based on population, based on the census. So why do the Republicans want to do this? They have been, they have had a remarkable history in the last few years of trying to limit the number of people who are counted in the census, and also to try to limit the number of people who are eligible to vote. Why are they doing all of this? Because historically, if we poll every person who's eligible to vote, Democrats would win every time. So it's the only way the Republicans are able to stay in power. They manipulate things. So here is a situation where Donald Trump was manipulating the census to undercount the number of people in blue states, which would then overcount the number of people in red states, thus, making Republicans more powerful, both in the Electoral College as well as the apportionment of congressmen.
How's that legal, though?
It's legal if it's done. Okay, so President Trump, the people who are in charge of counting for the Electoral College is the executive branch, the Commerce Department. So who runs the Commerce Department? The executive branch. Who's the head of the executive branch? The President of the United States. Now, in the past, presidents would stay out of it. But not Donald Trump, not this pumpkin guy. He was getting involved in trying to manipulate the census count. We've been talking about it for the last several years. And now they have documents that came out with it. Why is this all important? Because the Senate is about to take up voting rights. The Senate is taking up the voting rights legislation today, one day after the family of Martin Luther King Jr. sought to position the federal holiday as a springboard for important voting rights discussions. The Democratic leaders are pushed to come together to honor King's legacy with the passage of this legislation. Guess what? It is not going to pass. Right now, individual red states that are run by Republicans are limiting the ability of minorities and people who are hourly workers, which are your working class people, to vote. How? Because they're making people concentrated in cities, they're limiting the number of polling places, which would then make lines 3, 4, 5, 6 hours long to cast a vote. That people who are an hourly worker needs to get back to work, can't wait 5, 6 hours online. They're limiting the people's ability to do a mail-in vote. They're limiting people's ability who are injured, who have some sort of physical disability, to actually vote. All of this concentrated in making it more difficult for people who are working class, who are minorities, to actually cast a vote. Why are they doing this? Again, the same reason why they were trying to limit the census, which is to obviously stay in power. If this was true democracy, Jonathan, a true democracy where it was one vote per person,
Republicans would never have a chance.
Would never have a chance.
Yeah.
So the only way to do it is limit the number of people that are counted for population purposes in blue states and limit the number of people who can actually vote in the red states. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. It's wild.
So President Biden has had conversations with all the Democrats. They have 48 Democrats on board to pass this voting legislation, which would make it a much fairer, balanced apportionment of voting rights across all states, meaning that whatever the rule is in New York is the rule in Arkansas, is the rule in Kentucky.
That's what it should be.
And also to make it that no line should be more than 30 minutes.
Nice.
To make it that it's a federal holiday.
Yeah.
So you don't have to lose a day's salary or half a day's salary if you're an hourly worker just to cast a vote.
Right.
To allow mail-in votes. So you know what? I want to work anyway, even if it's a federal holiday. I don't want to wait in line in bad weather. I don't want, because in rural areas and suburban areas, which are more predominantly white and Republican, the voting machines lines 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
I've never even seen that.
All right, in cities that are predominantly minority, they're around
the corner.
Around the corner.
That's so crazy.
Now the problem is that Senator Sinema and Senator Manchin, they claim they're Democrats. But they may be Democrats in name only.
Yeah.
Because they do not want to end the filibuster to change this voting rights or pass this voting rights legislation. And they're using this filibuster as a BS excuse, because nobody is staking their career on a procedure. You stake your career on making changes to laws. So they don't want to change this law. Or they want to change this law, but they're not getting things that they need to bring to their constituents. So this is, as we talked about yesterday, this is a breakdown in the political process. Politics is the art of consensus. And today in America, we can't get consensus. We can't get compromise.
Yeah.
We can't get any compromise whatsoever. Even Biden says he doubts it's going to pass.
Dang.
Which really is going to lead to this. A landslide for Republicans, because they did manipulate the census, and a landslide for Republicans because we have no voting rights.
Sheesh.
In 2022.
I don't see how that's all, how they can get away with this. I just don't get it.
They get away with it for 200 years now. Because the Democrats can't get their act together. Meanwhile, on Saturday, did you see an underwater volcano in the South Pacific erupted, causing tsunamis on the island of Tonga Tupu? That's where the volcano erupted. But there were tsunamis to the west coast, to Peru. It overturned a oil tanker in Peru,
oh my gosh,
caused an oil spill. There was huge tsunami going into Japan. This island, it's Tonga's largest island, Tonga Tupu, by the way, is in the South Pacific, near New Zealand.
Look at that. That looks crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it's a group of islands in the South Pacific Ocean. It's near Fiji and Samoa. They have very close ties to New Zealand. It's home to 103,000 people. They live on 36 islands, but there's 176 islands in the entire country. Only 36 are habitable. It is a constitutional monarchy. It is known officially as the Kingdom of Tonga. 3 people have died already from the tsunami, and it has caused a lot of concern.
I'm wondering how the heck that island is, or those islands are still there with that making such a big impact on the.
Well, all those islands in the South Pacific were formed by volcanoes. Hawaii was formed by a volcano. Fiji, Samoa, they were all formed by underwater volcanoes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now,
is that what an island is?
Well, not every island, but those
but like
particular
those?
islands, yes.
I'm like, wait.
Yeah. Now, clean water sources remain a concern. The Tonga's government advised people to drink only bottled water. The main airport was not damaged, but ash was having to be manually cleared from the runway. And the earliest opening to the airport's going to be on Wednesday. A 65-year-old woman on Mango, a 49-year-old man on Nomuka Island have been killed, in addition to a British national whose body was found on Monday. So far, 3 people.
Oh,
yeah,
that's horrible.
Yeah. My son lives right near the beach in Ocean County in L.A., and they had a tsunami warning for L.A.
Yeah, I know. All my family was sending
so I
stuff.
texted him. I said, "Don't go near the beach."
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, no, serious. Yeah.
But and that's so weird to hear, like tsunami in LA.
Yeah, and he's like, "Come on." I'm like, "You
No,
don't know.
you don't know." What do you mean? Come
Who knows?
on.
That's when he came back. This breakfast. Come on. I said, "Yeah, come on." When you get, bowled over by a tsunami on the beach, what are you going there for?
Yeah,
Are you crazy?
I wouldn't even risk it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. And Joe Biden, the Biden administration today launched its website. You can now sign up to get free COVID tests mailed to you.
Got it.
By the U.S. Did you already online and order it already?
I went online and ordered it, sent it to all my family.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, send me a confirmation when you do it because I know they're going to put it on the back burner.
So how'd it work?
So you just click the link and then you put in your information, your name and your address, and then it says, we will send you 4 free at-home tests.
Yeah, well,
it's simple.
The shipping information, according to my notes here, you enter it online, just like Yo-Yo said, and the site will instruct people that tests would begin shipped in late January, and the United States Postal Service is going to mail it to you, and they say it's going to be shipped within 7 to 12 days of you ordering it.
I also want to say, PSA, I want to thank people like Eliza, one of the Brad crew who sent it to all of us as well, and my friends that did too. So you guys, when you get information like this, send it to people, all right? Use it and send it to people because we have to take advantage of this, all right?
And there's 4 tests per household. Doesn't matter how many people are allowed in the household. It's only 4 tests per household.
Yes.
And again,
they're like $20 each. At least.
Yeah, so that's $80 worth of COVID tests every month. It's a good savings.
It is.
It's a very good savings. And the United States is actually going to spend $500 million making this available to all American households every month.
Oh, every month.
Every month.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
And now the Centers for Disease Control is saying that Omicron is responsible now for 99.5% of all new COVID cases.
I started to laugh because I just thought about, so now we have even more at-home tests. So how the hell are we going to get the stats for the people?
Exactly. Right.
It's probably going to be even worse than
these are the worst stats ever. According to the United States, 777,000 new COVID cases.
Probably have to times that by like 4 or something.
They have no idea how many stats. All right, you know what? I got to clear my throat here.
Oh!
Let's get some tea going.
It's tea time.
It's tea time. We have some tea? We have some tea, Jeremy. What'd you come with us today?
Is this the same ginger and honey?
We don't know what we're getting. What do we got here?
It's the same.
It's the same ginger and honey.
It's good for this type.
Jeremy did not go shopping for us this week.
Listen, it's about saving money.
Yes, Jeremy trying to save the Brad crew a couple of dollars. Thank you very much.
Oh no, I need to buy a Groundhog Sam's acorn.
Okay. Well, let's cheers.
Cheers.
How
Thank
are
you, Jay Fresh.
Thank you. I always love. This is my one time to relax during the entire week, Jonathan.
Smells good.
Live on Bradshaw Live to have some tea.
I like this tea. This is
very good tea.
Yeah, Ian brought this for us,
Do you ever get a chance to relax other than for this 1 minute on Bradshaw Live with everybody watching?
No.
I have no relaxation ever.
No, especially today. Today was very productive. Yes, I did a lot today.
Yeah,
so
you were
this
on
is
the move.
Yes, the first time I'm getting to relax all day.
I like this. Is like halftime of a basketball game.
It is.
Right? You get to relax a little bit.
Yeah, but a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. All right.
I guess we could get back to
Let's see what's
work.
going on our tea here. You see, it's Novak Djokovic.
Yes.
He has left Melbourne after Australia's federal court upheld the decision to deport him because he refused to get a coronavirus vaccination. Now, for those who do not follow tennis, Novak Djokovic is the #1 tennis player in the world. He has won 20 Grand Slam tournaments. The Grand Slam is Wimbledon, U.S. Open, French Open, Australian Open. Australian Open is one of the 4 Grand Slams. He has 20 of them.
Wow.
He is tied for the most Grand Slams in the history of tennis.
Wow.
One more Grand Slam, he is now would win more Grand Slam tournaments than any human being to ever play tennis. What a shame
Right.
that he tries to go to win the 21st, and he was ranked #1, and he was the #1 seed at the Australian Open, so he was favored to win and set a world record. And what a shame, not only for the world of tennis that he's not going to be playing, shame for people around the world to say that the #1 tennis player that many people look up to refused to take a COVID vaccine and then thought he was above it all. It says, I'm going to go play in Australian Open anyway, even though everybody in Australia, they have been quarantining for 1.5 years. Okay? Australia has been on lockdown as much as any country in the world.
Right.
People in Australia have really sacrificed to try to keep coronavirus under control. Many have gotten vaccinated. They have been under lockdown after lockdown. We've talked about it for 2 years. And here's this guy who thinks he's higher than, than the Almighty. And I don't need to take a COVID vaccine. And I'm going to play just because I'm the #1 tennis player. I can do whatever I want.
And when you have a title like that, you kind of feel like, you feel yourself a little bit. So.
And by the way, he had COVID about 6 weeks ago, and still participated in public events, put his arm around people while he was sick with COVID, and never announced it and told anybody.
What?
The guy may be a fantastic tennis player, but he's not a good dude. That is not a good dude.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Now, for the most part, I can't imagine that this one guy would be a super spreader around Australia.
Why not?
Maybe he
There
would
could
be.
If you listen, do you know how many thousands of people go to this event? You go out there, you take pictures with the fans, you just spread it to at least hundreds of people, then they spread it on to everybody else. It could be a big thing. It's a little extreme, but you never know.
Well, according to Ethan Hawke, is that his name? Ethan Hawke is the actor. That's not his name. Hawke.
That's the minister.
Immigration Minister Hawke.
Minister.
We don't know what his first name is, but we'll just call him Mr. Immigration Minister. Ethan Hawke used to be married to that famous actress, right? Uma Thurman.
Yes. This
right,
is
I'm like tall. I'm
this
like
is
Uma Thurman.
Minister Alex
But this
Hawke.
is Alex Hawke.
Yes.
Immigration Minister Alex Hawke. He said that, I'm quoting him, that Djokovic's continued presence in the country may pose a health risk to Australian community. It's possible. But he said what was most important is that he was solidifying anti-vaccine sentiment and discouraging people from taking the vaccine.
That's even worse.
That was even worse. So they had to make an example of him.
Out of him, yeah.
And now, so Djokovic, he has the Spanish Open, and I'm going to tell you something. You know what you need to get into Spain? You need to be vaccinated.
Wow.
As a foreigner, Spain will only accept you if you have a vaccination.
Really?
You can't even present you cannot present you cannot present a negative PCR test. Oh, you can. Spain requires international travelers to prove proof of full vaccination or having recovered from COVID-19 or a PCR negative test within 72 hours. Oh, so he'll be allowed in. He will be allowed into Spain.
Okay.
It is unclear whether Djokovic is going to be able to defend his French Open title.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, in May, because French Sports Minister Roxana Maracineau announced yesterday that all athletes, including those from foreign countries, must be vaccinated.
I mean, at this point, is it even worth it? Just get vaccinated.
There's so many athletes, by the way. There are so many athletes that are doing this. A famous basketball player on the Nets refused to get vaccinated. what's his name? The point guard. I forgot his name.
I forget, but it was a big.
Yeah, and he refused to get vaccinated. He gave up millions. Kyrie Irving. Yeah, he gave up millions and millions of dollars. How much money did Djokovic lose? And plus, I understand now that Lacoste, who was his sponsor, the company with the little French alligator, they want to drop him from his sponsorship deal.
Oh, wow.
All from not taking a vaccine. The millions of dollars that he's losing. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, remember Aaron Rodgers, the famous football player, quarterback? He's playing in the NFL right now. He lied and said he was vaccinated. I don't understand these people.
I don't either. I
don't get it. It's not as if 300 million people around the world took a vaccine and millions died from the vaccine. Nothing's happened to anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what will be in 30, 40 years from now. Nothing's happened to people.
Yeah.
I do know that people who didn't take the vaccine are dying.
Yeah. And that's why, I try not to judge. I don't judge, actually. It's not even I try not to. I don't judge when it's, there's an actual reason why. Like we said, when there are women that are in their prime, they may want to have a child and they're scared about that. Like, we can't judge because that's on them. But when you put other people's lives at stake, for your position and where you stand, that's where I can't respect it,
By the way, I have to make a correction. Djokovic does not have the most Grand Slam titles ever.
Okay.
He's tied for most Grand Slam titles by a man. Do you know who has the most Grand Slam titles in tennis? I was just whispered in my ear.
No.
Serena Williams with 23.
Wow.
Yeah, Serena Williams with 23.
Love to see it.
Serena Williams.
Love to see it.
So he has at least 3 more to catch up to Serena.
Oh, wow. I like that.
And what is it with this drinking blood, too?
Oh, God.
You see this? Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, they got engaged in Puerto Rico under some banyan tree. I don't know, but that's fine, whatever. They're in love, who cares? That's to me. What's weird, Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton.
That's the first time I heard of it.
Yeah, they did that when they were married from 2000 to 2003.
Right. Yeah,
and they were married, stepping out with vials of each other's blood and bragging about having sex on the way to the red carpet, but we don't know if they actually drank the blood.
Regardless of the fact, it's just very satanic to me. When you're dealing with
weird and
blood and vials and holding it and stuff. I mean, it's a nice ring right there, but it's very satanic to me. A little demonic,
Yeah.
When you talk about, and then unsanitary. It's just like, that's it. Can you imagine though? Like, she has 3 kids. Can you imagine your mom is out there just drinking her new fiance's blood and stuff? Oh no, bruh. Oh no.
And you see Kanye in his new album, he's calling out Pete Davidson.
This is deep. This is wild.
He's calling out Pete Davidson. He raps on his album, "God Save Me from the Crash Just So I Can Beat Pete Davidson's Ass." And then when he mentions Pete Davidson's ass, some woman voice asks, "Who?"
Oh gosh.
But,
I mean, it's more than a who if you rapping about him.
Hey, if Kanye's rapping about him, you just made the man very famous.
Yeah.
He looks like Beetlejuice. I still don't understand how women love this guy.
Listen.
And now Kanye is obsessed with him and
Right.
rapping about it.
Right. He's more obsessed with him than his new girlfriend.
Yeah,
to me,
Kanye, he is. It's crazy, right? And he's like, "Who? You just made the guy really famous."
And he was already famous.
Exactly.
If anything, you just kind of made Pete Davidson win. To me, he's a winner because Pete Davidson is not saying anything about Kanye.
On Twitter, somebody wrote, I just feel like if you're taking shots at Pete Davidson has already won. If you're rapping about Pete Davidson, Pete wins.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Pete wins.
That's what I said.
Yeah. And then another person goes, Pete Davidson not only stole Kim K, he also gets to be in Kanye's song.
Right. What?
Right? I mean, the man is just
legendary.
winning.
That's legendary to me. I'd be smiling.
The man, he didn't steal Kim K, but for all intents and purposes, Kim K is now divorced from Kanye and with Pete.
Yes.
So I don't know what you call it.
He stole her heart.
Stole her heart,
Yeah.
right. But I'm going to tell you something. Pete Davidson, he's winning.
Yeah, especially because he's just not bothered by all of this. He's so into his own shit. Like you could tell he just does not care.
And by the way, just up until recently, he was living in his mom's basement. Can you imagine?
Living in your mom's basement, you show that you have a drug addiction,
Yeah.
you have mental illness. It's
Right.
literally like you put it all out there on the table. You still getting the finest girls.
By the way, if you ask Kim Kardashian, okay, put her on a lie detector test, and you said next year you're going to be dating a guy who lives in his mother's basement,
What?
she'd be like, what?
You could have gave her that this year. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But obviously, to me, I don't really see this as a long-term thing. To me, I just see this as having fun for Kim. Like, she's in her 40s. She has her whole family. She has the money that she wants. This is just fun,
Yeah. Albert Grant says Kanye West is just a hater. Dawn Harriet saying he's jealous. And Jessica Leamy saying who?
Who to who?
Kanye who?
Oh, dang.
Kanye who?
Well, I mean, when you snooze, you lose. Like
Yes.
Kanye, he gave up the family that he wants now. If only he had been trying this hard when he had them. So.
Yeah. Meanwhile, did you see he punched somebody? Punched a fan, Kanye?
Oh yeah. Well,
Did you see that? He punched some fan.
yeah.
And the guy went down on the ground.
Yeah. So this is the thing.
What's up with this?
This is the thing. I know this is probably unpopular opinion, but I've hung out with many
Do you
celebrities.
think he's going to get arrested?
No, I don't think so. I've hung out with a lot of celebrities.
Right.
I have seen what they go through on a daily basis with people that are disrespectful, people that feel entitled.
But you don't have a right to hit anybody.
You have no right to do that, but this man is going through stuff. He has a mental illness. He has his whole thing that's going on, and people are very, very aggressive with their words and stuff. So I'm not justifying it, but it's like, leave this man alone.
How about this now?
Leave him alone.
Let me ask you a question, Jonathan. Okay? You are an aspiring actor, right?
Right.
Okay? Maybe one day you are an A-lister. Okay? It's very possible.
I will be.
Okay, you will be. Okay? What comes with the territory? All of this.
I get that.
You know that this is coming with the territory before you become an A-lister, as you struggle to get there. It's part of the job description.
I get that.
And if you don't like that part of the job description, don't do the job. That's how I look at it. You can't take fame, and you can't take your fans who pay money to listen to your music or to watch your show or to pay to your movie. You can't take them for granted and say, I don't want to deal with you, because they're your customer.
I understand
the
that.
fans are your customer. It comes.
I totally
it
get
comes
that.
with the territory. I'm sorry, you don't like that territory. It's a free country. Nobody says you got to be an entertainer.
I understand that. I totally get that. That's why I say, I understand that. I understand that, but I'm also looking at it as the celebrity is still human. Some days they just don't want to be bothered.
Absolutely human.
And
Don't go out.
And a lot of people. Oh well,
Don't go out. It comes with the territory.
It's not that easy.
Yeah, that's what I think. It comes with the territory.
It's not that imagine you can't even take a crap in a public bathroom without somebody out there trying to sneak a picture or a video of you. It's a lot.
Then don't do it.
You can't say then don't do that.
What do you
but
mean
that's
you can't
that's
say
your
don't do
love.
it?
That's what you want to do.
But
you
it
love to
but
do
it
that.
comes with the
A lot of
territory.
people don't do it for the fame. I don't think he asked for the fame. He's doing
oh, come
what
on.
he loves.
Of course he loves the fame.
I think
Of course
he's doing.
anybody who becomes that famous loves the fame. That is just not true. I am sorry.
That's not true. Not everybody.
Okay, I am sorry.
Not everybody.
No way. His ego loves the fame.
Yeah, but some days you just need, your own day, and y'all just give them space.
As Dawn Harriet says, expect anything to be said about you when you're a public figure. And I agree, Dawn. If you can't take the heat, you don't step into the kitchen. Don't do that job. Do something else. He can make just as much money writing for other people and staying under the radar. Okay? He can make just as much money producing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He can.
Yeah.
He can. He likes being in front. He likes that adulation. But if you're going to take that adulation, you have to accept the paparazzi, and you can't get angry at people and start punching them.
Yeah, for me, it's just easier said than done. Like I love the arts, I love the industry, and I know I'm going to be an A-list actor, but I don't actually like the trigger fingers, the people behind the computers and the phones that feel entitled to say whatever they want to say about your life. It takes a toll on you to like actually have millions and millions and millions of people talk crap about you for no reason or for a reason, but just the fact to read it and then like people in front of your face. It's just a lot.
Yo, Glam Mom, Marge Higgs says, I don't agree with you this time, Yo.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I said. Unpopular opinion.
He put himself out there. He has to deal with what comes with it.
A lot of y'all have not been on reality TV and you have not read hundreds of crappy messages towards you. So it's a lot easier said than done. I have.
But you have to be prepared to take that on.
It's so easy to say that.
What do you mean it's easy to say? You have to be mentally prepared to take that on.
How do you prepare yourself for like people hating on you?
You have to learn to figure out how to do it. I'm sorry. You have to understand that comes with the territory. Okay? If one day, I doubt it, but if one day NBC TV picks up Bradshaw Live and we're on the Peacock at 8 p.m. every Thursday.
What do you mean you doubt it?
I don't know. Maybe they will. Who knows?
Yeah,
all right. If one day when NBC and I'm on the Peacock on Thursday at 8 o'clock this show, every Thursday, it would be my pleasure. I am prepared. My pleasure to go out and sign every autograph, take every picture, talk to every microphone. But then again, I like to do that.
Yeah.
I can do that 24 hours
I want to see you do that on your moody days.
Be like Kanye. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.